What is going on, Patriots fans? This is Jace back with another edition of the Patriots Draft Podcast. Guys, I've done so many mock drafts. I've said this before, so I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to throw out my guys of this year NFL draft. So what that means, guys, is someone that I believe at any point in the draft, no matter whether the Patriots take them or not, I have a stamp on them. I say this is one of my favorite players in the class at this position, maybe in the whole class in general. And then obviously they're going to be my favorite targets for the Patriots. They're going to be the guys that I am going to be like, man, I want them to come out with 2 or 3 of these guys. So that's going to be the episode today, just because it's a little different. And then next week, I'm going to be doing my final full 7-round mock draft because it is NFL draft week. But we're 2 weeks away, so I thought I'd get my guys episode out there, let you guys sit on that for a minute. Of course, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment down below maybe some of your favorite prospects and maybe some guys that you think of my guys that you would approve on. So without further ado, let's jump right into this video. Thank you to our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. With Underdog, you have a chance to 20 times your money in a single night. You just have to choose higher or lower for whatever player stats you want, and you have a chance to win big. Pick anywhere from 2 to 5 players by downloading their app or going to UnderdogFantasy.com. And now with their pick'em insurance, you don't even have to hit on all your picks to win the money. So what are you waiting for? Make sure you use code PATCHDRIVE today for your first deposit matched up to $100. All right, everybody, let's jump right into this. We're going to kind of go position by position, just starting at the top, quarterbacks, then we'll go to running backs, receivers, tight ends, O-line, all the way down through, okay? Starting off with, this is my number one guy, and I've said this, if the Patriots end up with this guy, I will consider this draft a success no matter what, guys. I am firmly on the Drake May hype train, guys. I thought at pick 2, he was going to be the pick. Jaden Daniels creeping up there, obviously, with his great ability to run the ball and the things that he does. But I think that Drake May he has so much potential, right? The comps to Justin Herbert, Josh Allen are realistic in my mind. 6'4", 223 pounds, has the strongest arm over the middle of the field, probably even the deep ball too in this class. He has that frame. He has all the intangibles to develop into that. Yeah, he's young, guys. He's 21. He's the second youngest quarterback in this class other than JJ McCarthy. He has time to develop, right? There's mechanical issues. There's some consistency issues. Those were the same with Justin Herbert and Josh Allen coming out of college, but man, did they pan out. If you get this guy with a good quarterback coach, Alex Van Pelt, you surround him with some receivers and you give him an offensive line that can protect, I believe that Drake May is going to be the best quarterback in this class. And then obviously, Caleb. I have Drake May ranked above Caleb Williams just because I love the amount of time that he has to grow, right? Caleb Williams a little bit older. He's had a tremendous college career. I think that Drake May, that's my guy. I'm going to stand on it. I think that he is going to have a great NFL career. I would hate to see him go somewhere and, not and have him succeed, because this has been my number one target. I thought that the Patriots were in line to get the number 2 pick towards the end of the draft class, or towards the end of the year, and then they end up winning a couple games. Now they're pick 3. I'm like, gosh, we're never going to get Drake May. And I was excited for Jaden Daniels, but Drake May is what I think is a prototypical NFL quarterback. He's underrated athletically. He can run the ball, whether it's design quarterback runs, whether it's scrambling. No, he's not as fast as Jaden Daniels, but man, can he still create with his legs, and he throws the ball great over the middle of the field. Once he gets some of the consistency issues figured out, I really am excited to see what Drake May can do in the NFL. So that's kind of my number one, my guy. And I get it, right? I'm going to get to some later round targets here, but for the quarterback position, because it's the biggest need for the Patriots, that's the guy I want the Patriots to take. I want Drake May. I'm going to be a big fan on draft night if the Commanders do go Jaden Daniels at pick 2 and the Patriots take Drake May. I'm going to be very excited for the future of the Patriots. So moving on to the running back position, I don't know when the Patriots are going to look at taking a running back, but I really do believe that in most classes, they look to add a guy, whether it's in the 4th, 5th, 6th round. And I think it's no different here, right? Ramondre Stevenson going into a contract year, I don't know if they view that he's going to be the long-term back. Antonio Gibson's going to be here. Who's after him, right? So I'm going to have my guy here is the Notre Dame running back, Audric Estime. Okay, this guy is 5'11", 221 pounds. Speed's a little bit of a concern here. He only ran a 4.71 40-yard dash, but he did a 38-inch vertical jump and a 10-foot 5-inch broad jump. Very explosive. You see that too when he runs. Guys, this guy had 892 yards after contact, which was 7th in college football. He also averaged 4.5 yards per carry after contact. That's 13th in college football, and he forced 64 missed tackles, which was top 20 in the country. The reason I'm saying this, that I'm not, and obviously I want speed. Like, I like guys like Isaac Guerendo too, but I think Estime, who for me is a guy that had 1,300 yards in 2023 and 906 yards in 2022. He's had over 29 career touchdowns in college for Notre Dame, who's really, a run heavy team and kind of is known to have those good offensive linemen. So they love doing it. He is what I want in a big, powerful back, especially with the elimination of the hip drop tackle. There's going to have to be more defenders that are going to have to try to tackle these guys one-on-one and head up in the hole. And he's very good at making people miss, and he's very good at running through contact. And so I like Estime. I think that he's going to be a very good running back in the NFL. And if the Patriots could somehow get him, maybe it's a little bit easier to let Ramondre Stevenson walk after this year. And, then him and Antonio Gibson are kind of the ones taking the workhorse. I think he runs harder too than Ramondre. He's going to really just try to run through people, and, he can make big plays happen. So I like him. I think that he would be a great late round running back addition for the Patriots. So I'm going to talk about a couple different receivers, because there's a couple that I just love. And there's going to be a couple of guys that I just think are dogs at the wide receiver position and are really good, and just what the Patriots need. What they need, good receivers, right? I get it. I want a big, tall X receiver, but I just want a good receiver too. I think Demario Douglas has potential in him. Kendrick Bourne coming back is huge, but I think the Patriots need just guys that get open, consistently catch the ball, and who, in my mind, impressed me on both the Senior Bowl and the Pro Day. So I'm going to lump these two together. I've been adamant about Ladd McConkey, Ricky Pearsall, two of the best route runners, if not the best two route runners in this class. They both ran good. 4.41 for Ricky Pearsall, 4.39 for Ladd McConkey. Both a little bit undersized, right? But they don't predominantly play in the slot. Yeah, they might fit the slot role better, but out of 148 snaps last year, Ladd McConkey only played 32 in the slot. In 2022, he only played 90 of his 352 in the slot. He's more of a guy that can be moved inside and out. He runs the whole route tree really well. I was a little bit skeptical about what his speed would be, but man, he blew that out of the water with his combine. I just think that he is so good what he does before the catch, how much separation he can create, and how good he is, just at any spot you put him in. Same with Ricky Pearsall. I've given him kind of a Julian Edelman type of comp here. Such a good route runner, really savvy, knows how to set up the defenders. He's a little bit more of a slot guy. Sorry, he played 260 of his 432 snaps in the slot, but still, that's only 50%. So, man, if you just have a bunch of really good receivers, you can create mismatches. You can use motions. You can use shifts. You can do a bunch of different things. You can put him and Demario Douglas on the same side, run switch routes. You can become really dynamic if you just get a lot of guys that can run the route tree really well. And yeah, you're going to still need a big-bodied receiver, which I'm going to get into with my guy at the wide receiver position. But man, Ricky Pearsall or Ladd McConkey are just receivers that I think the Patriots need on here, and are consistently going to be open and make it easy for their quarterback, which would be Drake May in my mind, hopefully, or Jaden Daniels. Okay, a bigger-bodied receiver for my guy, Javon Baker out of UCF, 6'1". Now, guys, I love A.D. Mitchell. I would have him as my guy, but I don't know if it's likely unless the Patriots trade up to get him. So I would say my ideal typical X receiver would be A.D. Mitchell, but I'm going to go with more of a fourth round guy in my mind in Javon Baker, 6'1", 202 pounds out of the University of Central Florida. He was originally at Alabama as a top recruit. Okay, he ran a 4.54, 37-inch vertical and 10-foot-1-inch broad jump. Guys, this guy had 15 deep catches last year, which was tied for third, 574 yards. He had a 17.1 average depth of target, which was 21st in college football. He forced 7 missed tackles, contested catches. He had 9, which was top 50 in the country. A little bit bigger body. He had 1,139 yards, 21 yards per catch, and that led college football, 7 touchdowns. like I mentioned, this is a little bit bigger bodied guy, still a good route runner for his size. But man, he can create before the catch, he can do it after. Not very good run after contact, but he creates good separation for his size. And he's pretty good in contested catch situations, but he doesn't have that true like 6'3" size, but he's good in the contested catch spot. So that could be a little bigger of an X receiver in my mind for the Patriots. So Lad McConkey, Ricky Pearsall, Javon Baker, those are three guys right there that I would love for the Patriots to end up with any of those guys. So let me talk about another guy for me that I think is a my guy, and he's going to be a pass catcher. Okay, I think Ben Sinnott out of Kansas State, 6'4", 250-pound tight end. He ran a 4.68 40-yard dash, 40-inch vertical, 10-foot 6-inch broad jump, 6.82 three cone. This guy tested incredibly in most of his stuff. The 40-yard dash was a little bit low, but all the jumping and the short shuttle stuff was in the 95th plus percentile. More of that F-back, H-back type of guy that's going to be moving a little bit more, but he forced 14 missed tackles, which was fourth amongst tight ends. He had the fourth most deep catches amongst tight ends, and he also had really good contested catch numbers where he had 5 catches, which was top 15 in the country amongst tight ends, right? Tight ends don't get that there. So really good athlete. I've kind of given this guy the Sam Laporta tag of this class. I think that he's athletic like that. He can move. He runs a lot of really good route trees. And he's pretty dang good at blocking. At Kansas State, you got to be a good blocker. So I really like Ben Sinnott. Think he would be a great addition to develop behind Austin Hooper, Hunter Henry, and then in a year he has a lot more experience, and he's able to take over for the Patriots. So moving on to another position that I think is a huge need for the Patriots. This would be a target at pick 34. You might be able to trade down and get a flyer on him, depending on how the run on tackles go. Kingsley Suamataia out of BYU, 6'5", 326 pounds. He had 34 and a quarter inch arms. He ran a 5.04, which is in the 80th percentile. He jumped 28 in the vertical and 9'2" on the broad. But guys, this guy's has played 600 plus snaps at both right tackle and left tackle. I think he's a really good a developmental prospect at the left tackle position. And I think that I'm not comfortable with Chuck Okorafor, a left tackle, but I think the Patriots are. So I think taking a guy like Kingsley Suamataia, who could use a little bit more experience and probably polish in his dynamic or in his footwork, his hand placement, and kind of the technique stuff, but he has everything athletically that you want from a left tackle. This is a guy that I love. He did not give up a sack until this year in college football. He gave up 2. Really good run blocker, really explosive out of his hips, and has that starting experience on both sides. He was a 5-star recruit that originally went to Oregon, then went to BYU. So really, really, really like Kingsley Suamataia. And then another guy that I like, and this will be my guy for the offensive tackle position, 6'6", 313-pound offensive tackle who has played 880 plus snaps in the last 3 years, all starting at left tackle. That's Javon Foster out of the University of Missouri. 34 and 3/4 inch arms, which is great size right there. Didn't test all that well, but this is a guy that's experienced. Yeah, he's probably going to need to come in and put a little bit more fundamental strength, but he has all the experience. He's really good. He's played in the SEC at one of the best conferences in college football, and he's been a 3-year starter for them, and he's been an Ironman. He hasn't dealt with any injuries, so really good there, and he's a pretty flexible and functional athlete strength-wise. At that left tackle position. So if this guy's there in the 4th, obviously I would like them to take a tackle a little bit earlier than the 4th. But if they need a more developmental piece too, I really like the experience and kind of the intangibles of Javon Foster out of the University of Missouri. And that was kind of a surprise team this year. So I really, really like what he could do. So I'm going to I don't want to say fly through the defensive guys, but I'm just going to mention these pretty quickly and not go too in depth. Obviously, Patriots are probably going to take a defensive guy at some point, so it's going to be important, okay? One of the guys that I'm a big fan of is Christian Boyd out of the University of Northern Iowa. Big 2-gapping interior presence. I think he would be a good run stuffer for the Patriots. Had one of the best run stop percentages and TFL in college football, and he was at the FCS. He dominated there. A little bit more stout than Barmore, but them together would be awesome. Really effective pass rusher with his bull rush. Needs to have a little bit better hands and maybe win more, but you're probably bringing this guy in to fit the Lawrence guy, Devon Gottschall type role, and you're still obviously going to have Barmore in pass rushing situations, and he's going to be the number one. But really like Christian Boyd out of the University of Northern Iowa. Edge defenders, I haven't really looked. I don't want to say I haven't looked at, but once we re-signed Uche and re-signed Anfrey Jennings with the addition of Keon White last year and Matt Judon coming back, there's probably room to take one in the later rounds. And I know the Patriots like to take edge rushers. You can never have enough of them, but I don't have a my guy for them here. There's a lot of solid guys I like, but not one that I'm just going to stick my neck out for. Moving on to the cornerback position, I've taken this guy a ton in mock drafts too. Cam Hart out of Notre Dame, probably a third or fourth round, maybe a fifth round guy. 6'3", 202 pounds. He ran a 4.5 40. That's the problem there. But I just did a mock draft with Patriots Global today on a live stream, and I said, and he both agreed, and he said it too, actually, is if you can move John Jones to interior or into the slot, that would make this defense really well. And you need a bigger bodied guy. Imagine Cam Hart at 6'3", Christian Gonzalez as the number one corner. Now Cam Hart's guarding the bigger bodied number two guys. Think of the T. Higgins or whatever, if they maybe would or have a size advantage on Gonzalez, which most receivers aren't. But he jumped 39.5-inch verticals, 10'10" on the broad jump. That was all in the 85th percentile. So really good at the University of Notre Dame. Played 163 man snaps, which was 26th in the country. And he's only given up 5 touchdowns in his college career, and he's played over like 1,600 snaps, I believe, if I'm doing the math correctly right here. His highest allowed completion percentage for a season was 53.5%, and that was this year, 2021. Out of his 739 snaps, it was a 48.5% completion percentage, exactly 50 last year on 44 targets. And, he's played a ton of snaps in college football. So really like Cam Hart as more of a cover corner outside guy for the Patriots that could slide out there and be a good partner with Christian Gonzalez. So last position here is kind of the safeties. This one's weird, right? Now, the Patriots need to have a free safety. I think they have enough of the Swiss Army knife type of guys with Jabril Peppers, Kyle Duggar coming back, and then obviously Marte Maupin last year. So you're looking for more of a free safety that could be that center fielder in the cover 3, cover 1 look. This is a guy that, man, he's not a very good. Well, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. He is not a good tackler. Okay, out of USC, Kalen Balak, 6'2", 188 pounds. He is not good in man. He's very skinny. He doesn't have a lot of strength. He's not good in tackling. But man, if you want a guy to sit 17, 18 to 20 yards in the back of your defense and play cover 1, cover 3, he has the range to go to the numbers. He like opposite hash to opposite numbers. He can cover so much ground there. Really good change of direction, really good athletically. And he played good at USC, right? He ran a 4.48, which is decent for a safety, not the fastest, but he shows range. Like, I'd be concerned about the 4.48 speed if he wasn't covering all this ground when he's playing as the cover 1, cover 3 type of safety. But he's done a very good job of that at USC and limited a ton of things. So really good kind of free safety, rangy corner. So those are kind of my guys right there. Hopefully you guys have an opinion or maybe some more my guys, and you're okay that I didn't come out with a true mock draft today, but appreciate all the support on this channel. Again, let me know down below your guys' thoughts on who your guys' favorite players are, what you thought of my guys that I threw out there. And then, of course, make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below, support the channel, and use code PATCHDRIVE at Underdog Fantasy to get your first deposit match to $100. So excited for draft season. Can't wait. We are literally under 2 weeks away. We'll be having our big live stream. So appreciate all the support. And until next time, talk to you guys later.